Got the beverage and everything. Man, most prepared guest so far. Welcome to Master Memories, the podcast where my friends talk about their lives. I'm here with Garrett Joseph Rivas, a.k.a. Do you have any nicknames?
None that, I mean, I got some stories, yeah. Gadge is the most popular one, mainly from my hometown friends. Basically, my brother, when I was younger, he couldn't pronounce my name, and so he saw Inspector Gadget play on the TV, and he went, "Oh, Gadget, just like Garrett." And ever since then, pretty much all of my friends' parents and my close friends from home have called me Gadge.
Damn, that's a nickname close to heart, though.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Yeah. So what's your first memory of you and me?
First memory of us?
Yeah.
I was actually going to mention about your backyard, but it was definitely some party here, or maybe, I don't know why you'd be at Theta Chi, but like, probably here. And I don't really know. I don't have a specific like landmark memory, like probably just a house party downstairs, like in your living room. They're like, "Oh, this is Landon." I'm like, "How's it going, man? Nice to meet you."
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, I can't tell if it's because like college is like, I drank away all my memories or whatever, but I feel like most people is just
I think it's because like first time you meet someone, it's just like I'll remember it kind of. You know, you say hi, whatever, exchange some pleasantries. Meet him again, it's a little bit more. Meet him again, it's a little bit more, and then over time it kind of just blends into like, oh, I know Landon now. But it wasn't like this one time. Like it wasn't one like concrete memory where I'm like, that is the first time I ever met Landon.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like most people don't have like a super like wild introduction. You know.
No.
Like, outside of like, I don't know, the first time I met Baldwin's girlfriend, or I should say ex-girlfriend now, when we were freshmen in college, I was on my bed, she walked in and I just pointed to her and went, "Jew girl." But outside of that, I mean, it's just like, hey, I'm Landon.
Yeah.
Most times.
I think that's a that's a good opener to, that's memorable.
No, that's how you really get people to love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were you doing today before we started filming?
Today, currently struggling to find some housing, moving out to DC in less than a week and a half.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Just don't have a place to live yet. So on the horn with my one roommate who I found in a Facebook group. Hopefully won't kill me, but seems like a good guy. And so I've just been kind of perusing Zillow, apartments.com, all that good stuff. Just trying to find a place to park all my shit while I work.
Yeah, that makes sense. How come DC?
It's where my job was. I'm going to be working at IBM, which is always like my dream company. Somehow got an internship with them last summer, and they offered me a full-time job. It's in their federal sector, so naturally right in DC. Haven't been there since I was like 12 probably, so heard lots of good things. Don't really remember much about it, but I think it's going to be a really good time, and that's just kind of where I landed. You know, it's a first job. Don't know how long I'm going to stick around there, but for the time being, I'm real excited about it.
Yeah, I had no idea IBM had Washington.
They have like a big federal consulting division.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. You're gonna have to go to the cherry blossom stuff for me because I heard it's just beautiful those 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I'll send some pics. Don't worry.
What does your typical day look like right now?
Not really podcast worthy. Let's see. They get up pretty early. You know, I have a pretty good routine going right now. I get up relatively early, say goodbye to my roommate Max. He's going on his way to the lab. And then the day is kind of just open to interpretation. Been painting a little bit, watch a little TV, read a book. Really the day is whatever I want it to be. And it's been pretty great. Haven't had that in years. So it's been an interesting summer, but I really don't do shit. I kind of just lounge around the house, packed on a couple pounds just from, you know, inactivity and beers, but it's been a really good summer. I feel rejuvenated, ready to hit the workforce.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hold on to this because, you know,
the
next 40 years, you're not gonna have this.
Don't remind me.
Look, I'm, as someone that already, started work on, in May, just watching everyone, it's like the one, meme of, Squidward looking out the window with, Patrick and SpongeBob having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, what have you been painting?
I'm not that talented of a painter. I really just go onto Pinterest or something, look up easy acrylic paintings. Just trying to come off a little bit more quirky than I am. But it's also fun to kind of test my art skills, which are, honestly, you surprise yourself because the paint kind of does the work for you, if that makes sense. It kind of just blends together. You have to be really bad for not to like come out looking somewhat, pretty or visual.
Yeah.
And so yeah, really mix of things. I'm working on one right now. I haven't finished it. I got really frustrated with it and then put it down. It's a picture of me, Max, and Miles, my 2 roommates, and all of our dads in our kitchen when they all came for graduation. It's like the 0.5 camera like lens on it, and so the perspective's really been fucking me on it. But yeah, it's been a challenge, but I think it's going to be really funny when it comes out.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see your Canva or whatever shop. My next house is gonna have one of your paintings right on my wall.
Yeah, no, I'll get you a print. Don't worry.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cherry blossom pictures.
Oh.
Painting, prints. We'll keep a list up here.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be your number 1 customer. The whole wall. I mean, like I feel like you get to a point in life where like you can't put just like random posters up anymore or flags. You have to like put up
have
artwork.
Some meaning. Yeah.
Like you have to have like something that looks decent. So you're gonna make my room look decent.
Okay.
So where do you lean politically and why?
Politically, I'm very left-leaning. I wouldn't say I'm a leftist. I still believe in some benefits of capitalism. I just believe there needs to be heavily more social programs. I think so much of the world and the U.S.'s problems stem just from wealth inequality, homelessness, poverty. Poverty, I think, is like the root of most issues that we have as Americans. And so I think there needs to be a lot more social programs in place to kind of help out with all that. Just because I think it's the right thing to do. We're all human beings, and I mean, a lot of Republicans think it's easy to just sit back, enjoy their money, and be like, oh, I'm doing well, so like, not really my problem. There's a lot of people in the country that need our help, and I think that we should do something about it, even though it's challenging. I know it's not as easy as just like, do this, do that, but I definitely think that there should be more money taken from the rich and given to the poor to kind of help out with their situation. Because, I don't have any statistics off the top of my head, but statistics about like people going bankrupt because of like healthcare expenses, just people that have food insecurity, people that have trouble with child care, just basic things that really just have a large negative impact on someone's quality of life. I think that there needs to be like a big change there.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting how during COVID, when like so many people were struggling, like some of the top CEOs between like Musk or Bezos, were like tripling their fortunes at the time when everyone else was in such a panic, and then especially right now with everything that's happened with the oil companies recording their largest profits ever.
Yeah.
And while everyone else is like struggling to just fill up their tank.
It's not even them being smarter than the rest of us and knowing how to profit. They're just in that position where they have the resources and the money to kind of make certain investments or make certain products that would kind of yield that large of a revenue for them. And so yeah, it's completely unfair. I think it's totally messed up.
Would you say you were always more leaning to the left, or was that something changed as you grow up?
I would say that definitely changed as I grew up. Throughout high school, I would say I was definitely a Republican. Both my parents are Republicans to this day, and so I think it was just a matter of me not really knowing what was going on in the world and kind of just letting them form my opinion for me. But yeah, I don't know what really specifically triggered. I think I just started paying attention more to what was happening in the world. I don't really remember much about reading the news in like early days of high school, really. So I think I just kind of, I'm not saying woke up, but just kind of, became more engaged in the world and like what was happening around me.
Yeah, I feel like, when you're a kid, like, you don't really care about politics that much outside of, like the mock election in like second grade or something like that. But I feel like once it starts affecting you more, as well as like, to your point, kind of viewing how it affects the world, you kind of get more involved, and for some people that, aligns them more with their parents, and some people that changes it. Depends on, I guess, how they view everything.
Absolutely.
So speaking of your family, actually, what's your relationship like with them?
I'd say it's pretty good. Pretty close with my siblings. My older brother's 3 years older than me. I have a little sister 3 years younger than me. Definitely had our quarrels here and there, but I'd say we get along relatively well. We have some shared trauma, as every group of siblings does, just things that, like, just going through the things that we did together is just, like, the ultimate bond for life.
Yeah.
My parents, you know, we differ on a lot of things. I think I've always been relatively reserved and like sharing things with them. I've always been very independent. I didn't really like getting told what to do throughout high school and stuff. And that kind of continues to this day. So definitely a stronger relationship with my siblings than my parents, but I wouldn't say anything too severe. I still talk to them all the time, and you know, we all get along relatively well.
Yeah, I think that this whole image of like, you know, everyone being like best friends with all their siblings and their parents is like such a, it's almost like cartoonish sometimes, you know? Like, I feel like as long as it's a healthy relationship, like you said, that's all that
healthy-ish, you know. I could be closer with them always, but you know, it's just I've never been like that with them, and so I don't know. Maybe in older age, as I get older, because I have noticed that the older I get, the more I can relate to like my parents and their struggles. I understand why they did things that they did more.
Yeah.
Because when you're a kid, you know, you don't have that perspective on life, and so again, I think the older I get, the more I can kind of understand where they're coming from, and probably that relationship will grow closer.
Yeah, I think it's been weird. I kind of think about this sometimes. Like, you know, I feel like, you know, my aunt and uncle have like said I'm like kind of a mini version of my dad, and you know, I'm like speeding into like, you know, as I get older, I become less like, you know, me and more like a younger version of my dad. Like, especially like when I get to his age when he had me, like that's just gonna be weird. Like, you know.
No, I get that a lot. I'm told like same voice or the same head shape. I kind of hate that low key. Like my mom's like friends will say that. They're just like, oh my god, he's like a mini Gil, and I'm just like, oh. Okay, there's things about him I don't like, so I don't know if I love being the carbon copy of him, but it makes sense. I do have half of his DNA. So.
Yeah, I think to your point of, you know, not liking everything, it's, you know, your parents, you learn a lot from your parents, is like, but as we get to this age where, you know, it's less of a, you know, up here, down here, a little more like equal, still have that relationship, but kind of thinking about your future, and especially with your family, like, the lessons that they instilled on you that you want to take forward, as well as the things that they did that you kind of want to change.
Exactly. That's all about generations moving forward. I mean,
all strive and be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think is your most unique talent?
I don't really have any unique talents. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's like some undiagnosed ADHD, but I feel like I kind of just bounce around a thing. Like painting, this is the perfect example.
Yeah.
I'm not good at painting. I rarely paint. But sometimes I'm just like, I'm going to spend a few months painting. I made a few paintings this summer. I've really enjoyed it. I kind of just get bored quickly with things. Only talents I would really say I have is just Nintendo GameCube games. I think I played that a lot as a child. Yeah, I mean, relatively good at Super Smash Bros. Melee and Super Strikers. So, I mean, that's pretty good. But overall, I'd say I'm just mediocre at a lot of things, and that does come in handy a lot in life. So I'm totally content with that.
There's a reason people say jack of all trades.
Exactly. I'm a Renaissance man.
Yeah. A lot of people, I'm surprised, well, not surprised, because I think with like Evan, for example, who can do Rubik's Cubes in like 15 seconds, that's like a point and click, like, you know, you have talent, whereas a lot of people, myself included, I feel like there's not like a one thing that do really well, and between that, but then like a lot of people got more creative. Instead of saying like a concrete thing, more of like something about them, whether it be their ability to learn something or, you know, this, that, the other, their ability to, or, you know, going undefeated in beer Olympics, something like that. I think it's been interesting. I don't know if you have any other talents like that you might be able to think of.
I don't know. I feel like I've always been a relatively personable person. I get told I'm much like a father figure. I don't know what it is, but I've always gotten along very well with all my friends' parents. So I think I just like, maybe I'm too much of a yes man, but I find it very natural to kind of just like hold a conversation and just like be friendly and kind of get to know someone. I don't find it, you know, anxiety ridden or like difficult. I don't know. Like I think I'm just curious about people, and so I find it very easy to just like go up to someone and just kind of ask about who they are and what they do.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're in business. That's a great skill to have.
That's what you need. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I always admire that, because I feel like, as someone that, I feel like my friends, especially like a party, something's easy, but like going up to like someone at a bar or something, be like, hey, how's it going? Like I said, I admire the ability to do that.
The liquid courage helps, but yeah, it's kind of just like people love to talk about themselves. Once you like realize that fact, it's like I ain't going to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And, you was gonna get that one guy who's like, leave me alone. It's like, they're boring anyway. I don't want to talk to them.
No, if you don't want to talk to me, I don't want to talk to you.
Exactly. Yeah. No big deal. I'll move on.
What were you doing when you first got the news of COVID?
I think I was just at home for spring break, and got the email from OSU that we were getting kicked out of the dorms, and so I had to take another flight back out here. I remember that was sketchy because like my dad is totally nuts about like germs, and he's just a total hypochondriac, which I am myself, so we kind of passed that down. I wasn't like scared about it. I'm like, oh, it's COVID, there's barely any cases, but my dad was terrified about me like going on a plane. He got all in my head. And I remember on the plane, there's this dude who's just like hacking up a lung next to me, and I'm just like, well, at this point, fuck it, if I die, I die.
Yeah.
I get to Columbus, I gotta go into my dorm, move all of my stuff out by myself into a U-Haul. It sits there for, what is that? Only a couple months because I came back here in June for an internship. But yeah, then I just went back home, and that was an interesting few months. Wasn't allowed to leave the house once.
Yeah, I feel like my mom and dad too are also pretty big germ people. Like growing up, it was always like as soon as you get home, wash your hands.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, what was it kind of like having to like fly or like, not that non-Ohio experience of having to figure everything out like from thousands of miles away?
It was kind of just like, what the fuck is happening right now? Came back to Columbus, rented a minivan, and then found a U-Haul that was a couple $100. I mean, it was stupid. I mean, thankfully they didn't like hike the prices up yet, but yeah, that was brutal. I had never really like moved myself, and so I had this like big love seat couch that I was like trying to get out of the 11th floor of a dorm by myself, get into the car by myself. Plenty of people around. No one helped me. Now that I'm thinking about it, there were so many people just watching me struggle so much to get this fucking couch into the minivan. Should have gotten a U-Haul truck. Honestly, I don't know. A lot of hindsight's 20/20. But yeah, it was really difficult because I couldn't just pack up and go back to my parents' house an hour away. It was brutal.
Yeah, I can imagine. How was your quarantine, by the way?
It was pretty nice. Kind of sucked because I, again, wasn't allowed to leave the house. My dad got super paranoid. He's like, oh my God, it's everywhere. There were like 12 people in my town that like got it throughout like the entire summer. But yeah, it was a good time. Classes got real easy. That was a rough semester for me in Fisher, and when I say it's business school, I had like 2 B's that I got to pass fail, and that was clutch. But I think it was like Stats 2 and like the HR class.
Dude, fuck stats.
Stats 2, that was awful.
I don't understand, unless you're a statistician or something like that, like fuck stats, I'll never use it.
I'm never going to use any of that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But that was dope. Classes got a whole lot easier just because professors they were not prepared to go online or anything like that, so that got like way easier. And then I just kind of like this summer, I sat at home and did nothing. I had an internship lined up here in Columbus, didn't know if it was on. They texted me like a week before they want me to start, and they're like, hey, can you get here by like May 11th?
Really?
And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, bro, what? Like, I don't have a place. I am literally in California right now in my childhood home, like playing video games. I don't have any way, and so I'm like, yeah, I mean, can I get like a few extra days? They're like, like maybe, like we really want you to start the 11th. And I'm like, okay. Go on Facebook Marketplace, find this dude leasing out his apartment. It was that building right, like I shared an alleyway with Cecilia's like the whole summer. Is that like a apartment building right next to Cecilia's on Framby's? So found that, booked the flight, packed all my shit, and then flew back out here like within a week. And then my job was like a little bit in person, and then it just went fully remote because COVID. And so I was just sitting here in my apartment for like the whole summer, and that was a summer of growth because I've always been very comfortable, like with myself, just like kind of being alone. I wasn't going crazy, and so it was kind of nice just like having a summer to just like do me. I'd go to work. I'd go to the gym or something. I'd go skate around campus. I like was just doing whatever I wanted, and it kind of just developed that sort of independence that I think is gonna come in handy post grad. And so
yeah, I feel like a lot of people found their silver linings during COVID.
absolutely, yeah.
Like to your point of whether being stuck with family again or stuck by yourself or
Yeah.
you know finding ways to keep sane and when the world was going insane.
Yeah, that was I don't know, good times though. I mean, junior year was fun, even though despite everything, that was a good time.
Yeah, junior year I feel like was a rush because it was like COVID was still like a
Yeah.
thing, but like it was like the in between of like COVID, like when it first came out and like everything was online and like
Yeah.
but like people were still trying to be like normal, but
Mhm.
like some people were like freaking out about it still. Like it was just like everything was wild.
We didn't care
Yeah.
at all. I think I got it Labor Day weekend. Like literally like the second week of school. Max comes down or he texts us from like he was living in the attic in our old house on Patterson. He's like, yo, I feel like shit. I'm gonna go get a test. We're like, okay, just stay up there until like it comes back, like whatever. He's like, yeah, it's positive. And we're like, oh my god, it's happening. And go get a rapid test. Miles is positive now. I'm still negative somehow. I'm like, oh, maybe I got some magic gene in me. And I'm like, I don't want to like serve these guys. I had nowhere to go. Like I said, I'm an out-of-state student. Like I didn't have anywhere to go. I'm like, you guys are gonna stay in your rooms, and I'm gonna cook for you all 3 meals. Like all classes were remote, so I did that for like 4 days, and then I started getting like a stuffy nose. Went back and tested again after like 3-4 days, positive on like Labor Day. So that was fun. I got put in the hospital first time I got COVID.
Really?
Yeah, like I like called the hotline. I had like some sort of exam. It was like intro corporate finance exam or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, like my chest is really tight. Like, is there anything you can give me? And I'm calling like my primary care doctor, and they're like, like your chest is tight. I'm like, you have any shortness of breath? I'm like, I mean, yeah, my chest is really tight, but it's not terrible. And they're like, if you have like any tightness in your chest, you should like go to the ER.
Damn.
And so I'm like, fuck. I take the test for like an hour and a half, then go, because I'm like, I've been studying for like 2 days. I'm not rescheduling this shit. And so I took the exam, and then Miles drove me to the hospital. That was a zoo. It was insane. But you go in there, and you're like, I'm COVID positive, and my chest, like, I can't breathe. They get you back right away. But it was scary in there. The waiting room was like overflowing with people, and yeah, they get back me there. They do like a EKG to make sure I'm not having a heart attack or something. Like, okay, I'm 20, 21. Like, that's not happening. They do like a chest X-ray, I think, and they're like, oh, like yeah, your lungs are inflamed, but we're gonna give you. It was like some pill they were like giving everyone that had COVID, and like. I felt better, like, I don't know, but yeah, I wasn't put on a ventilator or nothing crazy, but yeah, that sucked. It was I was in there for like 8 hours to get like one pill.
Yeah, I can not imagine like peak COVID, like going to the hospital, like.
Yeah, it was insane.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But I also can't believe you went, like, took your exam and then went to the hospital.
I'm like, I can breathe. Like,
there's
no way I'm gonna be like in 30 minutes, like on the floor dead.
You have the one get out of jail free card with exams. I have to go to the hospital.
I'm just like not that guy where I'm like, oh, I'd love to take this like a week and a half from now. I'm like, no, I've already studied. Like I'm gonna have to do it like another day. I'm gonna forget everything. I crammed it all.
Yeah.
Like it's in my head right now, but it's gonna be gone in 2 days. I'm like, screw it. I'm just taking it right now. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like, or depending on who you talk to, like, some people take it pretty casually, you know, but then there are some people who, like, I haven't seen since sophomore year just because, like, they were, like, they took COVID super seriously. For, like, a lot of people, good reasons, whether it be, like, you know, they visit their grandparents a lot, or, I mean, compromise with this, that, the other, but, yeah, I kind of, sometimes I wish when most of our house had COVID, we, like how you guys did, we were able to just, like, celebrate and, like, have fun, because... I mean, we're at the age where we don't have to worry that much.
Yeah, exactly. Thankful for that. Yeah, no, but like you said, it's totally valid that some people just like I do have like older relatives that I see like every week. I can't.
Like when I was in quarantine during those 5 months, like I almost never went out of the house because I was like, I'm not getting my mom and dad COVID.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, when it comes to campus, it's a whole different beast because
I remember
it's college time. You only got 40 years.
Yeah, once we got it, we were like, okay, so we're set for life now. And so I remember like, I don't know if any of this is incriminating now because like, we weren't allowed to have more than like 8 people in a house like during COVID, but like I remember so vividly. It was like Alex's, like their house was having the Halloween party.
Yeah.
And Pat walks in. He looks around. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna get out of here." He taps me up and just immediately turns around. And I'm like, yeah, if I didn't have it like before this, I would not be here. Like,
yeah, that sounds like Pat, honestly. Too.
Yeah, if you didn't already have it or like had it before, you were getting it that night. Like, it was ridiculous.
I don't know why I picture Pat in like a shitty pirate costume, just like opening the door, going, "Oh shit!" And
why do you? Now that you put it in my head, I'm just convinced it was a pirate costume. I don't know why.
I don't know his or his Halloween costume, but I can just so vividly see it, like with like
I don't know.
Yeah, with like some sort of like hat, like one of those pirate hats on, like a parrot. So it's like, well, do you prefer your parrot on this? I don't know.
It's like I'm getting out of here, peace.
How do you view your relationship with your religion?
Religion. I am a confirmed Catholic. We were super religious when I was growing up. Maybe not super religious, but like I feel like we went every week.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to I got like my communion. What was it called? Faith formation. That was like the class. Like every Sunday night, you'd have to go, and some parent volunteer would like lecture you about something. And like I always went to that. I don't know why. I just was never super into it. I got confirmed, not because like I was pressured to. It was kind of just like you were expected to.
Yeah.
And I was sort of just like, okay, why not? That kind of sucks. I had to go to like all the confirmation classes and like go to like a sleepaway camp for the weekend. Like, terrible. But yeah, my brother is like a full-blown atheist. I would say I'm agnostic. I'm not totally off the idea of there being a God, just because like, you know, sometimes there's just times in your life where you're just like, wow, like, it feels like there's like a higher power at work here. Like, I can't believe this all worked out for me. I really just don't buy into like any man-made religion. I feel like that's all, you know, it's just, we've been alive for what, like thousands and thousands of years? Well, obviously longer than that, but established religions were kind of developed over like the past couple thousand years. Mm-hmm. And I kind of just can see logically how they were slowly developed and shifted and altered after being passed down from generation to generation to generation. And I kind of just think of with like how vast the universe is. You think about like a planet, a trillion, what are they called?
Aliens?
No, yeah, like just like light years. Don't think of it.
Okay.
Like a trillion light years away. Like we'll never meet them, never interact with them. Say they're aliens, they're intelligent beings. There's no way they're praying to Jesus Christ, who was like born on Earth and is the same God. You know, I think that it's kind of just we as humans kind of developed all those religions. So I'm not denying the existence of a God or a higher being, but I wouldn't say I'm really faithful to any religion on Earth. I don't really go to church, except for like when I'm back home. I'll go for like Christmas Eve, Easter, but I'm never really back home for Easter, so I don't go for Easter anymore. But yeah, I kind of just have the belief that if there is an afterlife, I think I'm a good person. I do good things. I try not to do things that I think would be frowned upon by a God. And if that's not good enough, if I'm like punished for not believing and like praising God on earth, then I don't know, I'll probably regret that, but I'm not gonna, go to church like because of that fact. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I feel like a lot of people I've talked to that grew up like pretty religious, like don't follow that path. Like like so many people are go to Catholic school and then like Catholic camps or Jewish school and Jewish camps and then like come out of it as either atheist or so many people come out agnostic. It's like it's like
because it's kind of hard to like deny that it's like that, there's nothing out there, like there's no higher being, but it's much easier to just say I don't think it's any of these. I don't think it's like Judaism or Christianity. I don't think it's one of those, but I think it might be something. Yeah. Those are the people that just choose agnostic like me.
I've never thought about it from the alien lens, though. That, like...
That's how I think of it. I'm just like, there's no way out of all the trillions and trillions of stars and planets out there that we were the ones that got it right.
Yeah, I agree that, like, it's how big the universe is and how long it's been. Like, there's no way we're the anomaly. Anomaly.
Yeah.
There we go. But I never thought about the fact that, like, every single story in just about every single religion is based on a person that, like, you know, lived on Earth.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting. You're making my brain turn for the next, like, couple days.
I mean, maybe, like, you know, there's 1,000 ways someone could debate that. Like, oh, God sent his son down to us in a human form. So, you know, there's a million ways you could, like, debate your way out of that if you were, like, pro-Christianity, but I just don't buy it, you know?
I gotcha. What's your biggest regret?
I feel like most things that I do, if I do mess up or I'm like, oh, I wish I'd done that differently, I kind of just take it, like, on the nose, and I'm just like, oh, I know better for next time. I know I'm, like, imperfect. And so I wouldn't say I spend, like, a lot of time dwelling on, like, big regrets or, like, big mistakes from my past. I try to just always be looking forward, and maybe it's just because there hasn't been one major thing where I'm like, wow, that was life-altering. Like, if I hadn't done that, it would be entirely different. No big one regret comes to mind. I think it's really important just, like, for growth to just always be moving forward and always just kind of learning from life and learning while you go. And again, just not being too hard on yourself because, you know, we all don't know what we're doing. We're all kind of like, you know, we're just kind of learning as we go.
Yeah. I think, again, not to make you the central point of the last however many episodes, but a lot of people have said, you know, like, not to regret because it's like it makes you the person who you are, you know, you learn from it. And I do wonder, like, you know, if it's just because we're 21, 22 and, like, haven't made
no, I do think about that, yeah.
You know, if it's like a younger mindset of, you know, everything that happened may happen for a reason. And, you know, adults say that too, but at the same time, you know, who knows? I wonder how that changes in the future.
It's definitely scary because I've definitely felt that, like, kind of shift happening over, like, the past, like, year or two. Just the older we get, I'm like, wow, life gets so much more complex when you're not just kind of on this pipeline to college graduation. And so, yeah, I definitely see how, you know, with relationships, family, career, like, there's a lot more room for mistakes and regrets to happen as you kind of get older. And so I think you're totally right that, now we're kind of entering that period in our life where it's much more likely that one of those is going to occur.
Yeah, so I guess which one of us is going to fuck up first then?
Yeah, we'll see.
What are you most worried about?
I would say I'm most worried about my career and, like, being financially well off. Not that I think I'm, like, off to a bad start or anything, but I just think there's a lot of luck involved in it, and I think there's, like, so much that I don't know that, like, I feel like I should at this point. And so I'm always kind of just trying to think of things that I should be learning and things I should be, like, doing to kind of help myself out in the future. And I definitely get overwhelmed with all the possibilities. And so I'm definitely worried about just the future of the world in general. Might make that, like, immensely more difficult. I really don't know what the future holds, and I've always just kind of wanted to be financially well off to, like, support my family, give them everything I want, and also just kind of give myself everything I want. You know, I don't want to be scraping by, struggling. Like, I want to do well for myself. I think that's a big driver for me. Not to just sound like a, you know, well, I want money. Like, I'm not like greedy or anything, but, you know, I am motivated by doing well for myself and having success. And it's definitely daunting at the beginning of your career when you have all that in front of you. Like, kind of like what you were talking about with regrets. Like, which step is right for me? Which step should I make next? Like, is this going to be a mistake if I do this instead of this? And so it's kind of just weighing all those options at all times to kind of figure out what the right move is for you.
Yeah, I think that's a good regret to have, or not regret, good word to have, because that can bring some fuel to the fire for you.
Absolutely, Exactly. And it's good to be thinking about that stuff because it is complex. You know, it is not, like, easy to do that, and so I think the more you worry about it, the more you're gonna put effort and time into kind of figuring out what you want to do about it.
Exactly. Worry means that you care enough about something. You're not just trying to drift through life. You know? Yeah. What's the hardest thing that's happened to you this past year?
2022, my girlfriend breaks up with me. That was interesting. I don't want to get too into it because I don't know if anyone's going to find this. I'm going to get in trouble. I don't want to shit talk anyone. But that was pretty brutal. It's not really January, but I really liked that because I think I kind of missed the single life. And I got to see my friends a lot more after that all sort of happened. It ended up being a great semester. So I would say at first, because we did date for almost 8 months, and so like definitely just someone that was like well ingrained into my life.
Yeah.
So it was like, after any breakup, it's like a transition to like life without them. But it ended up being a really fun semester. I feel like I got to spend a lot more time with my friends that I wouldn't have if we were still together. And now all of our friends are like, moving to like all different cities across the country, and so I'm kind of thankful that I had that extra time to spend with them, because I don't think it hit us in like January that college was coming to an end and that like we weren't going to be living down the street from each other anymore. So
yeah, no, I'm sorry to hear that happen, but
I'm not too upset about it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I feel like not every relationship lasts, but you learn a lot of things from it and grow as a person. Both of you, honestly. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing a lot better and that you're back on the streets.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm not that guy. But it's been a good semester.
I'm glad to hear it. What's something that made you laugh really hard recently?
Laugh really hard. That's tough.
It's a very niche question.
Yeah, it's like
I
think a lot of random shit makes me laugh. Like
Yeah.
I can't think of something. I watched the new Nathan Fielder show, The Rehearsal, on HBO.
Dude, it looks so good.
Dude, it was so funny. Oh my god. So it was the one line, I don't want to spoil too much, but anyone that's seen it, they're walking past this cop. He's like describing how there's been like a double homicide or whatever in the house. And the cop goes, "It's days like these that make me curse the Chinese for inventing gunpowder." That, we need the context for it, but that line had me dying. That was pretty funny. So yeah, plug. I'm not getting paid by Nathan Fielder, don't worry. But plug for his new show. It was really funny.
No, I don't like the fact that you never know where like Nathan the Fielder, the character begins or ends, and the person begins.
I can't tell. Like I don't know. I've never seen him like. Obviously, I doubt he's that awkward, but like I feel like he never breaks character. Like even
on talk shows.
Totally, like social, any kind of social setting. Like I never have seen him break character.
Dude, when he was on Conan, he brought a backup guest in case he wasn't interesting enough. Like who else does that?
He's just so funny.
He's a clown. I love that guy, and I'm so excited to see that. Like he's like, I feel like he's like been a cult celebrity.
Yeah.
Like
I feel
like if you know him, you love him.
I feel like not a lot of people watch. Well, obviously Nathan For You was very popular, but I feel like it wasn't like
it's
anywhere near like South Park or like it was like still very niche, and not a lot of people knew about it.
Yeah,
it's a great show.
I'm hoping he blows up because I don't know, his like you said, his brand of awkwardness. Like, I could just use like a bunch of shows like The Rehearsal and Nathan For You like for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny.
Yeah, who's your hero?
Maybe my grandpa on my mom's side. We were very close. He died in 2020? I think it was like February of 2020, right before the pandemic. So that was super lucky because we all got to go to his funeral. We didn't have to, watch from like afar. So obviously very tragic that he passed, but it was perfect timing. So when I think he would have hated being like stuck in his house all day for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Until we all got to like come together and celebrate his life at the end of it. So. He always lived in Philadelphia. I lived in California, and so I only saw him a couple times out of the year. When I was younger, we'd go there for like weeks during the summer. So like I still saw him like a decent portion of the year. But yeah, again, opposite sides of the country, like weren't living right next to each other. He was just someone I really respected. Was kind of like the highest patriarchal figure of like the family on my mom's side. Kind of looked out for everyone, always gave me like really good advice. Showed his love in weird ways. If he was ever like, punching you in the arm and just kind of like, messing around with you, that was how he showed like he liked you. If he didn't like you, he just did not talk to you or interact with you at all. But yeah, I always really respected how he carried himself. Just a very honorable guy, and I definitely took a lot from my time with him.
Yeah, sounds like your grandpa was great.
Yeah, no, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I'm sad to hear they passed, but I'm
Yeah.
happy that. I mean, like you said, you gotta spend those final moments and.
Yeah, I mean, my mom had me at like 37, so I was already gonna have some limited time with him. So the fact that he did live until I was like 19, like, I was old enough that I'll like never forget him. Like he is, I was old enough to experience like at least that small portion of my life with him. He didn't die when I was like 5. Yeah. So like I feel like I got to know him. Like we spent a good portion of my life together, and so I'm totally content with that. I feel like I spent enough time with him where like I'll always remember him.
That's great. Yeah, I feel like there's a weird thing where like the younger you are when someone passes away, it's like. You don't know them as well, but the older you are, it's like, the more it hurts because, the closer you are.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite tradition?
I think about my immediate family. I don't know if I would call that a tradition. Basically, whenever we go into San Francisco, I wouldn't call it a tradition. I just say that we are so boring and we get stuck into routines, but we just do the exact same thing every single time. We'd go into the city or go out to eat. We go to like the same restaurants. We go to like the same places. So a typical day going into San Francisco, we go to this arcade of like antique like arcade games. It's right like on the pier, like at the end of the Embarcadero.
That's
called Musée Mécanique. Every time go there, great time. It's just I've been there probably 25 times in my life.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna drive around the city for a little bit, and then we're going to RNG Lounge, this Chinese restaurant right in Chinatown. And then we're coming home. And I guess that's a tradition just because we've done it so many times. I feel like at this point it is tradition. And yeah, it's kind of funny how we never do anything new really, but it's always a good time.
No, it sounds like a great day in the Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or do you have like a normal order at the Chinese place and a normal game at the arcade, or do you try to switch it up?
I like to play Asteroids a lot at the arcade. We also have like a bunch of just like random stuff that's kind of just fun to fool around with. Chinese restaurant, I love their honey garlic chicken. My brother and my dad always get the honey walnut shrimp. Kind of just, classic white people going to a Chinese restaurant. We're not getting anything too crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a classic for a reason, isn't it?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, dude, honey garlic, that sounds delicious.
It is. It's fantastic.
Dude, I'm flying out to San Francisco, going to this place, and flying right back. What do you think the best thing that's happened to you in this past month was?
I guess just like graduating college. I remember coming in like freshman year. I didn't know anyone. Thinking back, I don't know why the hell I came here. I mean, I'm very happy with my decision now. But I remember, coming in and I'm just like, I wonder how hard college really is. Like, I wonder if this is going to be, like, insane or, like, totally manageable. And it is totally manageable. Like, it's you have to put in some work, some rough days, but it'll be okay. But yeah, it was kind of it's a very big landmark occasion in your life. And so it was kind of bittersweet just because all the friends I made over the years, like, it's like family to me now, and then look back to like August of 2018. Yeah. And yeah, I was just a different person. I actually was just kind of talking about that with my barber. I went and got a haircut on yesterday. And I've been going to the same guy, Patrick. He used to work at Turner's, and now he kind of just does like his own thing out of his condo. But he's been cutting my hair since September, or like maybe in August, probably September of 2018. I remember like my first semester freshman year, I went to Turner's for my haircut, and he cut my hair, and I've been going to him ever since. And yeah, yesterday I'm like talking about how I'm leaving and stuff, and he's like, "Wow, dude, this is insane. I've been cutting your hair for 4 years." Yeah. And he's like, "I love this about like my job is, I like kids like you. They come in their freshman year, and I cut their hair all 4 years, and then it's like, yeah, I graduate. I'm going off to do this job or something." and it's kind of just cool that like he got to see me kind of grow into like who I am today. But yeah, stuff like that. It's kind of just a big landmark, and Columbus was a good time. But yeah, I think I was very happy to kind of get my college degree and get to move on to the next part of life.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it too. You know, like being fortunate for the last couple of years and growing and changing as a person.
Yeah.
And I wish I had the same experience as you of a manageable college experience. To be a Fisher kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's tough here and there, but
yeah,
it's not that
hard. Yeah. Look, you got your degree. You're fine now.
I'm doing well. Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself going in the next 5 years, both personally and professionally? Mostly personally, cause.
Yeah. Personally, that's tough. That's kind of my motto when it comes to like relationships and dating. Cause I see, especially in Ohio, you people are weird, but I see people getting married nowadays, and I'm just like, bro, we're 22. Like, I don't know who I'm gonna be in 5 years.
If you're getting married right now, like, there's something wrong with you.
Like, all the power to them if they can like grow and like it's like their future selves together and like grow together. That's like amazing. But I would just be terrified of just being entirely different, because I think back to who I was 4 years ago. I was 18 then. Obviously, I'm a different person, but a lot can change in 5 years. And so, I don't know, I guess I anticipate I'll be a lot more mature and maybe kind of boring. I'll be 5 years into my career and a lot more focused on, I'll be, 27? Yeah, that's scary to think about.
Yeah.
But you'll be a lot more focused on, just older people things. I don't think about anything nowadays other than, I gotta like get a picture for my ID badge for my job. Like, it's just, we're just having fun with our friends now. So yeah, I think just 5 years from now, it'll be a lot of growth. Just be a lot more mature and a lot more like an adult. Not that I don't feel like an adult now, but a real adult where I'm not drinking beer 3 nights a week.
Yeah, kind of that, starting to get into that next stage of life where it's like not settled down, but like thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just kind of having to like be a little more serious about life and all that. Yeah, no.
The whippersnappers back in my day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna be that guy.
Dude, I'm so excited to be that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to like talk to, I'm still living on campus next year, and just like talk to my roommates, be like, back when I was in college. I'm ecstatic for it, let me tell you.
Yeah, this should be a good time.
Yeah. So what's one thing you want to have done by the next time we film a podcast episode? I don't know when that'll be, but I'm saying 3+ years from now.
That's sad, because all I really can think about is like getting promoted at my job, because I know that's like one thing that I'm like, I get to DC, like I start my new job, like that's my highest priority. Like I want to have fun, I want to meet new people, like establish like myself with like new friends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I also just like want to get a really good head start on my career, and so I would say in 3 years, by the next time you interview me, I would just say that I want to be more advanced in my career. I want to be promoted. I want to be kind of on my way to, like I said, conquering my biggest fear of not being successful, not being financially secure. So I want to have proved to myself that I can kind of put my head down and also succeed in the professional world, since I've, done okay for myself in the academic world. Let's see if, I can kind of leave the nest and do well out there in the real world.
Yeah, I'm sure the baby bird's going to fly right out of the nest.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I'm calling IBM right now. You're the new face of the company. Yeah, but that's all I got for the conversational parts of this podcast. Wrapping up here, I got some quick hitters for you.
Yeah, fire them off.
Yeah, first thing comes to your mind, but take time to think if you need it, but try not to overthink.
Okay, I got you.
So here's the moment in the mind of Garrett Joseph Rivas. What's a song that's been stuck in your head recently?
Claret Girl. I don't know who it's by.
What's one of your favorite quotes or lyrics?
Pass. Come on, Family Feud.
Okay. We'll run back to it.
Okay.
What's the best show or movie you've seen in the past month?
It's one I've watched many years ago, but It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's the greatest show of all time.
Banger of a show. What's the best thing you've binged recently?
I just watched the new Solar Opposites season, and that was really good.
I'll add to the list.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best book you read recently?
I am halfway through this book called Capital, which is all about wealth inequality in the world and kind of how population growth. I don't know. I haven't read it in a month. I won't lie, but I want to get back into it. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I'll add to the list as well.
Okay.
What's your current and most recent job?
Most recent, I was an intern at IBM. Current, nothing.
Do you want kids, and if so, how many?
Unclear. I go back and forth every day because sometimes I think that couldn't handle it. Other times I'm like, yeah, that would be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, for the time being, yes, 2, but that could change.
I gotcha. You know, again, we're 22.
I don't know what I want.
What's your favorite spot to eat nearby, whether it be sit down or fast food?
Too hard. We'll go Taj Mahal Indian food right across the street from Patterson on High Street.
The second time it's been mentioned on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Love that.
You know Dom?
No, I don't think so.
He lived over there. He's now in Chicago.
Yeah,
but
fantastic.
Yeah, he also mentioned it for this next question. What's something you think is underrated?
You know, that's basic to go for another food place, but Joy's Village Chinese food. It's in a basement. It's underground, but yeah, best Chinese food on campus. Thai's is down the road. I wouldn't really call that campus, but on campus. Joy's in the basement. Funny story about that. When Alex's girlfriend Alex came to visit us, we were in the stadium. We always would, as like our tradition, is that we'd always go to Joy's after like most football games, and we convinced little Alex that it was an Italian restaurant, and that we were gonna go there for calzones.
I don't know how she did it, but
I don't know.
that's a good tradition. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
great.
a little jealous that you guys added like a post game tradition.
Sweet.
What's your biggest hot take?
Pass unless that's the last one.
Okay, no, we got a whole other side of stuff.
Okay, yeah, pass.
Yeah. We'll
We'll
rotate back.
circle
We'll rotate back. What's your favorite quality about yourself?
I like to think I'm funny. Maybe I don't take things seriously when I should, but yeah, I like to think that I'm funny.
I'd say you're a pretty funny guy. Yeah. What's your favorite outfit?
I just got these jean shorts with like big cargo pockets on the front. I don't even know what I wear with that. I'm just gonna go with like favorite item of clothing, and I wouldn't say they all go well together.
Yeah.
But yeah, favorite shorts, those like big ass jorts with cargo pockets in the front. I have this like black corduroy long sleeve shirt that I've had for like 3 years, like definitely a staple in my closet. Shoes, I don't know, just like Vans or, I got my Air Force Ones right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, any kind of graphic tee.
Can't go wrong. What's your biggest hobby?
Biggest hobby? I'd say listening to music. I like to just look for new artists and just like lay in my bed and listen to music.
Gotcha. You're stuck on a deserted island. You can only bring one thing. You can't bring a boat, and if you bring technology, it doesn't have cell service. Anything else goes. What are you bringing?
Hatchet, something to cut stuff with.
Great answer. Who are your best friends?
Back home, I have like my really core group of friends, Asan, Will, and Kyle. They're all back in the Bay Area still. Also my friend Gustavo, I don't get to see him as much. He's out in Boston. Here, Max and Miles, I'd say, are my 2 closest friends because we live together. Also, Alex Waters, gotten really close to him over the past year or so. But yeah, got a lot of homies, a lot of people that I have love for. I think I care for my friends a lot. I also like that about myself.
Yeah.
On top of the being funny, I think I like to think I'm a good friend, and I really care for all my friends.
Yeah, that's a great circle you got going on. What's something that you have to do every day?
Shower, brush my teeth, just like basic stuff. I wouldn't say there's anything I'm like, I'd say shower. I hate, if I went a full day, I'd feel and smell like shit. Yeah.
Gotcha. What's your proudest accomplishment?
My junior year of high school, I created this sort of mission trip to Cuba. That's where my grandparents on my dad's side are both from, so it was really cool to get kind of see where their roots are. But yeah, that was really hard. My dad was very adamant about me doing it by myself, so I could put it on my college apps. And so that was very hard, and we brought like almost like $2,000 worth of medical supplies to like give to the citizens there. But yeah, that was very challenging for a 17-year-old me, and it worked out really well, and it was a super cool experience.
It's awesome. What's something you want to own?
Maybe like a boat on Lake Tahoe.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think the price of gas will be the next time we film?
$4.
Where do you want to visit next?
I've always wanted to go to Asia. I think it'd be really funny for me to walk around there, and I want to try to convince people that I'm an NBA player. My brother told me like how he's only like 6'1". He's like, oh, I was towering over so many people there. So I think it'd be really funny to go to like Japan or China. One, it's like both gorgeous countries, and the culture there is so cool. I want to go, but also just for like that one tiny detail is that I think it would be really fun for people to like stare at me and be like, holy shit, he's huge.
Damn. I'd take some pictures for me of just having the entire audience just staring at you. You can make a cult at this point, it sounds like. Circling back to some, what's one of your favorite quotes or lyrics?
I wish I had my journal because I'd write them all down. There's something about like the only two people you need to impress are like a 7-year-old you and a 70-year-old you. So basically ignore whatever other people are saying. You want to impress the 7-year-old that you're not living without any like reservations. You don't want him to have any regrets about the way you're living now. 7-year-old you want to not be just some bum. You kind of want to like strive to achieve your dreams that you kind of had when you were younger, and kind of just, you only get to live once, so go all out.
Yeah, that's a great quote. What's your biggest hot take?
I also want to change my answer for what's underrated.
Okay.
Because Joy's it's a good story.
Okay.
Walking. Going on walks, so underrated, I feel like. Especially around, like, campus. Like, it's a beautiful campus. And off campus, super nice. Big into walks this summer. But yeah, super underrated, just a casual walk around your neighborhood.
Walks are always great. Clear your mind.
Real hot take. The Golden State Warriors super team rings were legitimate.
With KD?
Yeah, totally legitimate.
Okay, you're a bitch. You know that, right?
I mean, debate me on it.
Okay, so you have a 73-19, the best team of all time, and you add or the only MVP before the guy that's already on your team, or like the most direct one. You're telling me that like you don't like that team isn't not only expected to like go to the finals, win it, but like I feel like that team is like expected to dominate. Like there's
I don't disagree, but how does that make it illegitimate? You think about it.
You bought your way to a ring. It's a Yankees ring, but like in a sport that doesn't support Yankees like.
It's not my fault that the cap spaces are messed up. Like put a cap on teams. Like.
Well, it's Steph Curry.
I'm just saying, other teams got money like we do, and they couldn't do it. And so. It's kind of like, any team that wins a ring, that's a legitimate ring. They were the best team in the NBA. I can't help it that we had so many OP players, but, they were the best.
You're lucky because Steph, Clay, and Draymond both all on their original contracts before the championship when Steph had those glass ankles, so he's barely getting paid. All the right circumstances.
Sounds like good general management to me. I actually know his nephew. He went to my high school.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Is he a bitch, too?
I don't think Graham's ever going to see this. No, Graham's not a bitch.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just saying, look, 2015, 2022, well-earned, well-deserved. 2015, people are going to fight you on it. But I think 17 and especially 18.
2015's tough.
Yeah.
No Kevin Love, no Kyrie.
But 2018 when it's just LeBron, and then fucking JR just did the one thing
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the East sucks.
Look, I'm not a Cavs fan. I'm a Raptors fan. So I.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, I'm not even mad at your team that much more than LeBron, but. Okay, you know that is a good hot take.
I know. I thought that's fire. That's it. That's the one.
You got me. I got
you a little riled up.
Yeah, that's a good hot take. What's one piece of advice you have, whether it be for yourself, for the world, for me, whoever?
Don't take yourself too seriously. The world's a big place, and this isn't a reason to get thing to get depressed about, but you really don't matter, and that's a good thing because it means that you can just kind of relax.
Yeah.
And not everyone's eyes are like, I don't know, just with anything, like, you're not that big of a deal, and everything's gonna be okay. And so just like, don't take yourself too seriously, but still put an effort into things that matter, and like, try your best at things. But it's not the end of the world if something doesn't work out. You always get led down a different path.
I love it. And then last but certainly not least, what's your top 5 anything? Like 5 things in an unordered list that 5 things to you. Whether it be anything. Whether it be, I don't know, pizza, bagels, or friends and family.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 1, Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl win over Tom Brady and the Patriots.
I thought you were are you not a... Oh,
I'm a Warriors, A's, Flyers, and Eagles fan.
Interesting.
Don't talk about the A's. I'm not ready to talk about the Oakland A's.
Okay. No one's talking about the Oakland
A's. Good. Number 1.
That
Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl win.
Yeah, fuck Tom Brady.
Insane. Number 2, music on vinyl.
Great answer. I mean, look right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl win. I love these. This is sick.
It's my favorite question.
Yeah, music. Yeah, music on vinyl. Number 3 is Italian food. Love Italian food.
It's the best genre of food.
Mm-hmm. Number 4, I want to say Friends because
the show or
no, by Friends.
Okay.
It seems so fucked up. I can't put them in front of family, but yeah, I love my Friends.
Oh, this is an unordered list, unless you weren't ordering.
Oh, I was ordering it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an order.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. No, it wasn't ordered. I was not putting my Friends above my family. We'll go Friends and family in no order.
Okay, so Friends as the 4th spot, theoretically, and then 5th is
family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a great order, or a great list, I should say. Yeah, sorry. When you were ordering them and you said, or originally ordering them and said Super Bowl number 1 over everything else, I was like, damn, that I didn't realize. I agree though, 2019.
Dude, it was, yeah. No,
when you're a franchise that doesn't win, you win. Nothing beats it.
A long time coming, and Cinderella story. Back at Nick Foles.
Exactly.
Nick Foles takes down Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
It kind of reminds me.
You can't write that. That's just like magic.
It kind of reminds me of 2015 OSU season when we went from Braxton Miller to we just went through the entire QB roster and we still won.
Boom.
Yeah.
Bama, Oregon, national champions.
Exactly.
So sick.
That's us, baby.
So sick.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this. It's been a
good
episode.
one. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. So how do you want to end this thing?
Shit, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Some people wave. Some people run up to the camera and cover it up. However you want. It's a new thing I'm trying.
It's been real. Have a good one.
Peace. Sweet.
That was fun.
Yeah, no, good times, right?
Yeah.